Charlie Parsons here for Boxing Social in Abu Dhabi, and every day I'm like, these venues are ridiculous, but this really is ridiculous. We've just had a weigh-in at a beach pool party. Barrett Jones, can you believe it?
It's crazy, isn't it? Unbelievable. I've been to some mad weigh-ins in the time, but this might have topped them all. Actually, we're right on the sea, aren't we? Here, it's been pretty good.
Just the best thing about it was when I saw a security guard fully clothed just trampling through the pool.
But what's the weirdest thing is people that come here, like, and they're in their swimming costumes. No, and tell how old I am, in their swimming costumes. They're all walking around here, half naked. And I've seen more buttocks today, right, than I've seen in my lifetime. But they're all having relaxing. And we're all shouting with the microphones. David Diamante's doing his thing. Yeah, we sort of took over a really expensive bit of beach here, haven't we?
Let's talk Bivol against Bivol-Ramirez. Obviously, Bivol goes in the favourite, a very, very slick and skilled, brilliant boxer off that Canelo win. But Gilberto-Ramirez, an unbeaten, tough Mexican, a very, very big Mexican, and someone that I suppose if he gets a win here, he'll need to make it really difficult, put his weight down and sort of dominate the centre of the ring as much as possible.
Yeah, I don't think... See, he's aggressive and he hits hard, Ramirez, and he throws lots of punches. But I don't think he's that physical, actually, to be honest. I don't think in the clinches that he's that strong. But I do think that work rate and pressure and moving around. You're a child there, you've got to be attacked by a fly there, mate. But
Mosquito Central out here.
But I still think that he has to get to the target quick, and he has to work that body, and he has to be busy. He has to move around. When he's close, he does it on again. He pivots round to the right, and he does that quite effectively. That's going to be a move for him that's going to work. But my issue is, how does he get to the target quick? Because Bivol, with that in and out feet, he's really hard to judge. It's hard to know to commit to an attack when you've got someone who's going in and out as effectively as he does. And because Bivol keeps in the centre of his stance, his balance is always good, which means he can throw whether he's moving forward or moving back, which causes you nightmares. Because you attack and you make a mistake, you fall a bit short, he can fire it all the time. And certainly with that lead right hand that he throws so effectively against a southpaw like Ramirez is a trouble.
Chantel Cameron against Jessica McCaskill, a really, really good fight, and sort of a coming out party a little bit for Chantel. What's the method for victory for her? And I suppose Jessica McCaskill also an opportunity to become a two-time, two-weight undisputed champion, which is some feat.
Yeah, well, you know we're going to get with McCaskill. She's burrowing a hole right through your body. She's coming right at you 100%, and there's nothing's going to stop her. Cameron needs a solid jab. A really hard jab, and I mean, whether she's moving forward behind it or using it as a ramrod, you sort of as a ramrod jab, you leave your foot, anchor your front foot in, and you step back with your back foot, and you leave the left arm out there and let her walk onto it. That's going to be if she can't do that, and McCaskill can get close too often, then it's a fight that Cameron can't win. Cameron's aggressive herself, and I feel that she will want to be aggressive, but I still do feel that she can box, so she's gonna have to box more in this fight, and because McCaskill's gonna be the one chasing her. And it's just how I fancy Cameron. The only reason I fancy Cameron, and I shouldn't, we should all fancy McCaskill. She's the one with all the pedigree. Let's be honest. We all talk about Katie Taylor and Clarissa Shields, and Jessica McCaskill never gets a mention. She just beat Celia Brackhouse twice. Like the first one was pretty disputed, but she just still beat her twice on paper. She's gone up in weight, she's gone back down in weight again to win another world title, and you've got to give her credit for that. But I think coming up and down in weight, I think if you put on muscle mass to go up in weight, losing it, coming back down and losing it, sometimes you leave a bit there up in the weight above, and I think that might just be the telling factor. But Cameron's got to get it perfect, otherwise she's get beat.
Well, on the next fight, Barrett Rakhimov, firstly on Joe Cordina. Obviously, he was stripped by the IBF, first punch of his camp, and he broke his hand, quite a bad injury as well. Still a while out. I said I don't think he can still start punching until December, January, let alone, get a fight in fit. First things first, what did you think of him being stripped of his title? I know that they had to make an exception in the first place to allow the Agawa fight, but just your thought?
Yeah, well, if you're going by the law of the letter of the law, then you would say they haven't done anything wrong, because they've said you get the fight. The Rakhimov when disappeared went missing, but you get the fight, then Rakhimov has to fight the winner. But you're the voluntary challenger. They're both voluntary challenge for the vacant title, so and Rakhimov has to fight next. And if you can't within so many days, so in that respect. But when does an organisation stick to that? And he's been had. He's been dealt a horrible set of cards here. I think Joe King. But anyway, it is what it is. You got to accept it and move on. Otherwise, it clouds your whole career. I was speaking today about it, saying, listen, don't let it cloud your career. You're still in a great position. You're still a great fighter, and you win a world title again.
And on the positive side, sorry to interrupt, but I was speaking to Darren Barker the other night, and he said it still gives him the opportunity to become an unbeaten 2-time world champion.
Yeah, and my cousin who's here, Mikey Hill, who'll be judging the undercard, just to give him a bit of Barry's cousin, they all call him in Dubai. And but he said that people get to see Rakhimov because a lot of people won't know who Rakhimov is or about him. So and certainly the UK audience, and that's where Cordina has his base, they get to see him and see how good he is. Or they get to see how good Barrett is, who wins the fight. And then that'll help build that fight for Joe Cordina. Because if Cordina couldn't turn up here now boxing Rakhimov, all his fans who don't really study boxing, just his fans, will think he's coming here just to batter somebody in the desert. And they'd be mistaken. This would have been a harder fight on paper than a goer. So yeah, I think so that helps him there.
On Zelfa against Rakhimov, we know Rakhimov's got this incredible power. I was just looking for his box rec earlier, but also a little spell of inactivity. He had that sort of win against Jojo Diaz, which was quite a close and good contest. I think Jojo came into that fight a little bit overweight, or 3 pounds or something overweight. Since then, I think he just had to stay busy 4-4 opponent. But Zelfa Barrett certainly in a step up here. I think he told me he'd only had about 5 weeks notice, but he was training, ready to fight anyway, to be honest. He was preparing, just had to change for a southpaw. 5 weeks, can he do it? Can he upset the odds?
You can't, listen, boxing history is littered with exceptions like this, where people have, Lloyd Hennigan went to Atlantic City to box Donald Curry. Literally it was like, well, he's just going for an experience. And then went on to beat the pound for pound number one on the planet. Let's not forget that. And then went on a massive run of world title wins, and is one of our best British boxers who've ever lived. Doesn't get the credit because I don't know why. He doesn't get the credit, doesn't get mentioned enough. But still, it's a big ask for Zelfa. It really is. But he's got that snappy left hook. He's athletic. All those things will cause Rakhimov problems. But Rakhimov, if you watch Rakhimov, you think he's quite straightforward. He walks right at you, hands high. You think, oh, well, I can outbox him. Yeah, well, he moves the head better than what you think. And when he gets close to you, he does what Ramirez does actually, both southpaws. He moves around the target, so he hits you from different angles, and you can't fire back, and that's where he gets you. And I just think that going for the Martinez, fighting Martinez is phenomenal. Let me hold that, Charles, while you knock the flies with. So Charlie's getting attacked by flies because you haven't watched for 3 weeks, so he stinks of shit, and all the flies that are trying to eat off him. Yeah, no, I just think ultimately that I think Zelfa will do well, and he'll be competitive. But I think as the rounds go on, that pressure will tell, and Rakhimov will either beat him widely on points, or, I hope I'm wrong, maybe stop him late. But either way, I think... Do you want your microphone back? Yeah.
I may as well hold it back for you again now.
But Zelfa's in a no-lose situation. He gets a chance of a lifetime, no pressure on him. He go just do the best he can do. I just think, and I really hope I'm wrong, because he's a lovely kid. I really like him, and he's one of my favourite guys in boxing as he goes. And to see him and Joe Cordina box would be fantastic for me. So I hope I'm all Zelfa Barrett, but I think Rakhimov will win.
Just finally from me on the heavyweights, we'll go first into Anthony Joshua. Straight away off the back of that Usyk second defeat, they were like, let's just get him out, let's keep him active, maybe build his confidence back. Since then, sort of narrative in the last month has changed, that AJ actually wants to just plunge back into the hard fight. Deontay Wilder is another name that's being thrown about. Personally, won't believe it till we see it, because we know how hard those negotiations were a couple years back. But Dillian Whyte, a name that spoke about. Is he okay in going back to these, or do you think confidence-wise, a couple of, not bowl-over wins, but someone where, would maybe give him a tough couple of rounds and then be expected to knock them out would be better? See,
if this was the 90s, he'd have 3 or 4, maybe he'd certainly have 2 or 3 easy bowl-over fights, no one would blink. But times have changed, unfortunately, I think, for the boxing. I say unfortunately for the fighters, not for the fans, and rightly so, not for the sport. Yeah, going back again, going straight in with Fury was, I think for me, was a foolish thing. But also an understandable why he's only been in big fights. The man's had, what do you have, like 12, 13 world title fights on a spin? Yeah, that's all he's known. You know what I mean? The fight, not the fight for a world title now, would be weird for him. But a Dillian Whyte fight's a good fight for him. I think it's a great fight for him. It's a winnable fight. I think Dillian's not on the same stage of his career as he was before. I think that was evident in the Fury fight. And maybe the Povetkin fight, even though he won the Povetkin second fight, even those fights I don't think he looked fantastic. but he's still a good, dangerous fighter. Can still hurt you, and he's game. And I think that's what Joshua needs. Someone who's going to come at him, but it's hittable.
Finally from me, we obviously saw Tyson Fury had done that interview with the True Geordie and sort of it ended the way it did. A few people, we got two bits of discourse coming out. One saying it was unacceptable from Tyson Fury, but two saying that the interview wasn't right, that he shouldn't have started the interview speaking about YouTube boxing, KSI, then straight into Conor Ben. Didn't really acknowledge sort of Tyson's accomplishments maybe. How did you assess it?
Oh, don't be a prick.
I actually did shit myself there.
No, who cares? You got Tyson Fury, haven't you? I don't see one that True Geordie must have loved that. Because what's that done for his channel or whatever?
Big numbers.
Exactly. So, and listen, you guys are all good. You know what you're looking for. I'm surprised you interview me because you're going for getting big numbers, and it's understandable, and that's what you need. So I don't give a shit what Tyson does. He can go racing frogs. I don't know, or whatever he wants to do. I don't know.
And we know that Tyson's got that sort of personality anyway.
I understand with these stars and famous people, they have to be, and understandable because they make money and that's their profession. They have to be perfect every time they meet the public, but they're also human. And they get in these sort of things, requests a million times a day, and they're doing interviews all the time, non-stop. So sometimes you go, and you get, also, this is my fourth one today, already within 10 minutes, and I've been asked the same question pretty much all the time, in a different way, so I'm not, but because obviously you're one of
What you mean though, it's the same with Eddie, he'll stand there and do 10 things talking about exactly the same topic.
It's crazy, what the bigger guys do is phenomenal. What I mean is, you're saying the same thing again and again, and these for big fellas, they're like, oh, again? Talking about Jake Paul again. I don't give a shit about Jake Paul. That's nothing to do with me. So but I think he's Safford. He's okay. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what. I didn't see it. I didn't see it for a start. I'm talking about it, but who gives a shit? What I'm saying is, it served a purpose for everyone. People are talking about Tyson. He's a master of keeping his name in the public, even when he's not fighting. When he retired, he was more in the public when he retired than when he didn't retire. And he never retired. That was full of shit. But he just said that because it was an issue. And True Geordie gets loads of more views, and he's happy with that. And I have to talk about it, and I'm gutted.
Barry Jones, as always, thank you for speaking to Boxing Social. Final message to the people ahead of Saturday night?
Tune in, I guess. Tune in. It's a great card all down the line, but the top of the bill is fantastic. I think it's an intriguing fight that will catch fire.